Good evening. As you already know, I'm the chair of the Recreation and Parks Commission for the City of Santa Monica. Thank you for having me here for a few minutes. We have in our commission put a huge effort in to make sure that we emphasize all of our adults, our seniors, our children, our teens on being active in Santa Monica. I know I've seen at least one of the board members out on bicycles quite often. I know at least one of the other board members is bicycling on weekends, and I applaud you for setting a great example in our city for that. At the opening of the Green Streets in Ocean Park opposite Smash, a citizen looked at me and said, "You realize there was only bike parking for 4 bicycles on this school campus, and the four bicycle slots are in front of the campus, literally in the parking lot." And I looked at that, made some inquiries, and found out that even though I understand that the Board of Education may have voted to become a bike-friendly district several years ago, in actual fact, many of the elementary schools did not have bike racks. They did not have secure bike parking on campus for their students. And especially at the elementary school level, where we were doing bike it, walk it days, kiddical mass rides, etc. And as a city, trying to get kids accustomed to riding their bikes and riding safely, that we needed to also provide infrastructure, something that we've been emphasizing throughout our city. We need to have infrastructure first before we implement new programs. I went back to transportation, went back to community and cultural services staff, and found that we had grants to provide bicycle racks for every elementary school in the district. About 6 weeks ago or so, our staff sent out notes to every elementary school principal and advised them that we have racks, take them, they're yours. And all the district has to do is install them. To date, we've had response from 3 schools in the district. We would love to have a response from every elementary school in the district asking for bicycle racks. I know the only thing you guys have to do is install them, which I understand is like 2 screws in the ground. Any school that you can put a secure area for bicycles would be so appreciated, because it's been proven that our kids fight obesity. They wake up in the morning raring to go if they have to walk or bicycle to school. It's sort of a shame, because I grew up in this district, and having grown up in this district, I know that I walked to school, and then I bicycled to school from Madison to Roosevelt to Lincoln to Samuel. And I would have been embarrassed if my parents had dropped me off at school unless it was pouring rain. So I would love for our students to get into that habit. So we have a few things that we can do for infrastructure. First of all, we have bike racks. They're free to the district. We want to provide them. We want there not to be an excuse from any student at any elementary school in this district that there's no place to park their bike. I know that John Adams at JAMS, they just got a new set of bike racks. All of them haven't been installed yet. So we're a little bit concerned about that, because we know that with bicycles, skateboards, scooters, there is a great transportation logjam there. We want to make sure as much as we can to help you provide parking for all those systems at your schools. In addition to that, we can provide right now a minimum of 10 bicycle helmets to every elementary school, but we will be happy to go out and scrounge and fight and scrap for bicycle helmets for free for any elementary school child who needs them. There's also a lawyer, personal injury lawyer here in Santa Monica right now, who had called me today and said he could donate at least 200 helmets. So we have systems in place to provide helmets for children. That's part of infrastructure. In addition to that, bike education for elementary school children is essential. And the city has money to provide that. My understanding is they tried to provide it this past year. Instead, they had to move it to Crest because they didn't get a lot of enthusiastic cooperation from the district. I would love for you guys to change that. I think every child, 3rd grade and up, should have bicycle education. as part of their physical education curriculum, wherever you can fit it in. We can also provide bicycle education through Crest as well. But all those things would help. So if we have age-appropriate support for our student bicyclists through helmets, through parking, and then let's add one last measure. Santa Monica is one of the only cities, maybe the only city, in Los Angeles County that doesn't let children ride on sidewalks. I know one of the large questions for parents is going to be, we're not going to let our children ride on the street. If we provide great education to those children, if we provide helmets for those children, if we provide great bike routes for those children, my belief, and I believe my commission is going to send a letter to the City Council in September asking that that municipal code be changed and that 12-year-olds and under be allowed to ride their bicycles on sidewalks in Santa Monica. It's a matter of safety. It's a matter of getting children active. It's a matter of doing what most other cities do and most children want to do anyway. I think if they have education first, we can watch, we can make sure that the children don't interfere with adults on those street corners and in those sidewalks. But I think there's a whole system of things that we can do. My commission absolutely supports children riding, children being active, but children riding and being active safely. Those are things that we can do. I ask that you guys, the Board of Education, provide as much support as you possibly can to our Recreation and Parks Commission, the Transportation Management Division at the city, and the Community and Cultural Services Division at the City of Santa Monica. Have the resources to help you. We're willing to help you. I am pushing as hard as I can to make sure that they help you. So join with me. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you very much. Sandy, do you want to bring us up to date?
Sure. The letter went out June 20th, so principals were wrapping up at the end of the year and they haven't been back yet. So we are going, Terry is in communication, Terry Kawabayashi, with Dennis at the city, and so we have been in communication and we will be going back out to get the principals to work with us to see where they can go and make sure that they're secure. So are committed to working with the city and your commission to make sure that that happens. And we're continuing to work with the city. We met with them last year on ways to get that bike education into the already cramped school day. And so we'll continue to work with our principals and our teachers to see what makes sense.
Lori, I know this is an agenda. I would just, I don't know if it's appropriate to re-agendize it, but I just want to say from my own part how I agree with every single thing that Commissioner Brock has said, and I also would love the board to consider eventually passing a resolution in support of the Commission's recommendation on this bike on sidewalks matter once they've had an opportunity to pass it through their commission. So I hope we'll be able to agendize that as well.
Happy to do it, but there are other things. I mean, we are partners with the city. Jointly, there's a grant for Routes to Safe Schools, which is being used. Allison Kendall has been, working on that tirelessly with other volunteers, and there are, bike it, walk it days every year. So I think there is a growing awareness and willingness of kids to do it. Part of the issue, as you say, is about how kids, where can kids safely ride, and I think a lot of that's incumbent upon, and the city is, rapidly creating bicycle routes throughout the city that are well marked and the like. So, we should certainly work with the city in identifying safe routes to all our schools. It isn't necessarily just saying kids can automatically be on every sidewalk. Some are 3 feet wide, some are 8 feet wide. If there are in favor, of giving over certain, driving areas, that's solely to bicycles, or changing some street designations, to really work proactively to make it a better system. And I don't know that there's one quick solution that I don't think it solves, the long-term problem.
Okay, we're getting
That's
into
just a
discussion.
comment. That's just a comment.
Clarifying questions and
Yeah, I think the action that's more realistic for us, and I think the superintendent has already said we're looking into the bike rack issue. The other political issue of, the sidewalks, which I totally agree with, but that's something the Parks and Recs Commission will take on, and once we're requested to support or not or whatever, then that's something we'll consider and bring it there. But from what I'm hearing, we are looking into the bike rack, expansion of that on our schools. So that's great. And
Right.
yeah, and thanks, Phil, very much for always being a champion for the youth of the city.